out the starting lineup. Starting for Seattle Sounders, number 62, Robert Haraka. Number 49, Enrique Montana.
Number 46, Blake Malone. Number 33, Leo Burnley. Number 35, Connor Drought. Number 28, Joshua Atencio. Number 53, Daniel Robles. Number 44, Peter Kingston. Number 58, Marian Vargas. Number 21, Alec Diaz. And number 55, Ray Serrano Lopez. Starting for Barca Academy, number 41, Luke Pruder. Number 52, Christian Ortiz. Number 53, Pedro Mondragon. Number 59, Jose Olmos. Number 34, Julian Araujo. Number 50, Enzo Moriz. Number 44, Carter Payne. Number 47, Cameron Fisher. Number 60, Jake Lacava. Number 49, Matthew Hoppy. And number 55, Roberto Molina.
We're all set for semifinal number 2 here at the U.S. Soccer Development Academy U16-17 playoffs. And it's the number 2 seed Seattle Sounders taking on the number 22 seed Barca Academy. Mark Serber alongside Carter Augustine. And Carter, this is the Seattle Sounders side. Best offense in the Development Academy, 133 goals in 37 games played, and have yet to be kept off the board this season.
That's a staggering amount, and like you said, having not been shut out this season, also just a truly impressive stat. It's been a wonderful year for this Seattle Sounders group. I've had the pleasure of watching them on a couple of occasions, and they have some guys that are really talented in attack, strong at the back as well. Their attacking lineup does make all the headlines, but they've been excellent, and that's what's led them to this number 2 seed. And coming into the semifinals, they're the highest seed remaining, and you would think the favorites on paper.
Oh, they're going to have a tough test against this Barca Academy 22 seed, the only side in either age group to make it through as a wild card. But at the same time, they beat 4 MLS academies in the playoffs to get here, and this is a very strong club out of Casa Grande, Arizona.
Hugely impressive run by this group right here as they kneel down in a huddle before the game. You have to give them credit. As you mentioned, 4 MLS sides that they have been able to advance past, and they've got that Barcelona name on the front of their shirt. It always carries a bit of cachet, and it should be a really wonderful matchup between these two teams. Hopefully we get as entertaining a game here in this second semifinal as we did in the first.
It's an academy where the players live on site in Casa Grande. They all attend the ASU Preparatory Academy High School. So they've come all over the country, and they've really banded together. And there's a good look at their keeper, Luke Pruder. Robles standing over the ball, getting ready to get the Seattle Sounders and Barca Academy underway in semifinal number 2. The winner punches their ticket to the final, where they will face off against Atlanta United, who won the first semifinal 3-2 in a thrilling match against the Montreal Impact.
Yeah, we can only hope this game is as good as that one was. Both teams showing plenty of attacking prowess and courage in attack. And you would think these two teams, with their run to this point, would show the same here this afternoon.
For the Seattle side, in group play, 3 different players had hat tricks. Vargas on match day 1, Diaz on match day 2, and then Chavez had 4 goals on match day 3, and he's not even in the starting lineup.
And not a bad option to bring off your bench there. You have 2 guys with hat tricks along the front 3, and the other one's Ray Serrano, who is a fantastic player on the wing. Really is a potent Seattle Sounders attack.
Here you see Barcelona playing exactly like Barcelona, love to keep the ball on the ground and move it around with quick, short passes. In fact, Araujo, Lacava, Clark, who's on the bench, and Arias all went to La Masia, the famous training center in Barcelona trained with the U16 and 18 squads. Head coach Sean McCafferty said the feedback they received from the Barca staff and technical directors was very positive, and players will continue to go over to La Masia to train.
What an awesome opportunity for those kids.
Oh, Serrano Lopez almost picked that one off.
Sorry, I had to stop there, Mark, because that was a wonderful chance for Serrano. He just stretched a little bit too much there. Looked like he could have taken his time and brought that under his control, and Seattle, from an errant pass, could have been in on the goalkeeper.
So Barca side, that's also very dangerous going forward. So that one goes out of bounds. Up top, they have Matthew Hoppy, who has 31 goals in all competitions this season, 26 in the DA. Was voted to the Western Conference Best 11. Head coach Sean McCafferty said his side in the playoffs created numerous chances every game, and defensively, the team has really improved tremendously.
Just so impressive to be here in their first season, and you mentioned the victory over New York Red Bulls as well, to knock off one of the more established academies in MLS. Red Bulls always known for their ability to produce young talent. So that's a really impressive victory for this young Barca squad.
And here's Lacava, who's just called into a US U18 camp. Unable to weave his way through, but this ball falls for Ortiz. It wasn't a bad ball in, but a bit too deep in the end. This goes past Hoppy, everyone else, and it will be a goal kick for the Seattle Sounders.
Good start in the opening 3 minutes from Barcelona, other than the errant pass that almost led to Serrano charging in. They've kept the ball. Finally getting a cross in, but Hoppy just a little bit on his heels there. I don't think he was expecting the early service.
Wasn't a bad ball in from Cameron Fisher. Word on him is that he's received attention from a lot of MLS clubs.
Well, he's had a bright start in the 3 minutes. I've really taken notice. Not only that cross, but he's run in behind a few times from his central midfield position, and you need that in this 4-3-3.
Ortiz, lovely first touch into the space. It's quickly closed down. Serrano did a good job to close him down. And Mondragon has to get it back to his keeper in Pruder. 15th start of the season for Pruder out of Redondo Beach, California. That about 40 minutes south of Los Angeles on a good day.
Yeah, could be, what's it on a bad day?
2 hours. No joke, no joke. Bernie in a little bit of trouble. And a great recovery from Enrique Montana to get back and clear that ball to safety, but it will be a throw-in for Barca Academy, the 5th minute.
How quickly did they swarm the back line there, Barcelona, forcing Bernie into an awkward situation.
Just got a good look at the Seattle Sounders bench, and Chris Little, who is the U16-17 Western Conference Coach of the Year. Humble as always, he said, my award is really just a testament to the players and the other coaching staff for what they've done this year.
I'd like to hear that. He's certainly earned it. The Seattle team, unbelievable run here to the semifinals so far this season.
They won the Northwest Division, 27-3-3. The goal differential was plus 81 for them in the regular season.
Just that? Just 81?
Hoppy with a little touch back. This is Maurice. Intercepted by Drought on the far side, who loves to get forward, but he's been pinned back here in the early going. Bernie. This is Montana. One back by Lacava. And spinning is Fisher.
Yeah, real good pressing work here from Barcelona early on. They've controlled the ball in the early stages, not allowing Seattle to string many passes together at the moment.
Almost. Forward for Araujo. Another player who's not only getting attention from clubs here in the U.S., but abroad as well. So Araujo, the number 34 outside back on the far side. One to watch for this Barca Academy.
Well, yeah, just touched about it briefly before that pass kind of stopped me mid-tracks. But you talk about the ability to train at La Masia. And that, as you just talked about with Araujo, maybe opens eyes for other scouts. It's a really wonderful opportunity for these kids with this Barcelona academy.
Araujo also a U.S. U19 international and was voted to the Western Conference Best 11. This is Rojo. U19 international gets it forward. Hoppy making his way into the box, but out to claim is Robert Haraka.
Smartly down off his line to pinch it off the toe there of Hoppy.
It's a good move, though, as he was able to get by Malone.
You see why he scored so many goals this season. Hoppy active in the box, looking to get a shot away there and able to beat a couple defenders as well. Just a little too heavy there on that final touch.
Mondragon. Montana steps in. Vargas. Serrano. Overlap from Montana. And it was off of Barca last. It'll be the first corner kick of the game for the Seattle Sounders.
Difficult call for the near side AR. That one pinged around a few times as the cross was blocked. But Seattle's finally finding their way into this game here and a chance to send the big boys up from the back, and they do have a couple, Blake Malone and Leo Burnley.
It's an in-swinger from the near side. Oh, it's a good ball in the header, right into the breadbasket of Pruder. But a great job from the center back to get forward and win that header.
Really was a great leap. Just straight, like you said, into the breadbasket. The keeper in a good position there. Either side of him, and I think it's 1-0 to Seattle. It's a good delivery into the area, and what an excellent job from the center back to get across his man, and he got some good purchase on the header as well.
This is Lacava. Free kick won by Vargas.
A little tug of the shirt there after he was able to take it away from Lacava.
So it's Leo Burney's free kick in the 10th minute. Kingston. Atencio. Gets back to Malone. Guides it back to his keeper. Out wide it comes for Connor Drought. Rojo. Let's open up. It's 3-on-2. Slid in. This is Robles. And he slides it in. It's Alec Diaz. 25th goal this season. And Seattle Sounders have the early lead.
Well, how quickly did they get from back to front there, Seattle? It's a mistimed header from the Barcelona defender in the back, and Seattle take full advantage with just a perfectly timed pass. Alec Diaz has all the time in the world to stride forward, and a lot of times when you have this much time, you think too much about it. But in the end, look at this calm finish. Just prodding it past the keeper. He kept his head. It's a lovely finish inside the area, side-footed into the side pocket. But you have to give a word for the pass there. Just the timing of it to allow that run in behind was absolutely spot on.
Seattle Sounders continued their streak of scoring in every single game they've played, and they're 1 goal to the good in the 12th minute over Barca. Payne wants the return ball. Instead, it comes inside. Stepping in to win it back is the Seattle Sounders.
That was a big block from Atencio because it looked like Barcelona was going to be in behind.
This is Robles. Out wide for Vargas. Being watched by Rojo. Robles was trying to slide it back inside for the run of Vargas. Drought is able to keep it for the Seattle Sounders. And Kingston will let this one roll to Bernie. Montana. Watching him is Lacava. And this is Fisher. Lacava. Beautiful touch to get it inside for Fisher. His pass is intercepted, and this is Atencio. Atencio trying to slide it through for Diaz.
Really like this Josh Atencio kid in the holding midfield role for Seattle.
Payne gets it off.
Mark, we're hearing the Barcelona coaching staff barking out orders throughout this first half, and just moments ago, just yelling out at Olmos when he stepped again that you have to win the ball if you step like that. We saw it in the goal, coming forward and missing, and it happened again just moments ago. Very aggressive back line here so far from Barcelona.
Mondragon. Lovely skill to bring it down by Fisher. And Payne a bit too far for Rojo. A high press for the Seattle Sounders, paying off as their 1 goal to the good in the 14th minute. Coming off the boot of Alec Diaz in the 11th.
You see why they've scored so many goals this season. Just the efficiency in that attack. It was so cutthroat, the timing of the pass, and the expert finish.
Fisher motoring forward, slides it through for Lacava. Lacava equalizes! Catches Haraka at his near post. And we're level in the 14th minute.
And it's a lovely flowing attack here from Barcelona. Cheeky to take it at the near post here. You see Haraka disappointed with himself, but it was, oh, this man, Cameron Fisher, with a wonderful move to glide past the defender in midfield, and then you see him lay it off for Lacava here along the left wing. He hits it with pace, and maybe he's just caught the keeper off guard there, Lacava, because it's from a tight angle. But he's hit it so well. He struck it well. Beats the keeper at his near post, and game back on here.
14th goal of the season for Jake Lacava. Haraka expecting the cross. Instead, frustrated to see himself beaten at the near post. '90th goal of the season for Barca. That one too far for Fisher. It's really at the heart of everything they do going forward for Barca.
There he is again, running in behind the pass just a little bit wayward because he was in plenty of space, but that move in midfield, just shifting it past the defender, really opened up the center of the pitch and led to the Barcelona goal.
It's a strong one forward from Molina. Lacava gets back for Ortiz. Space for Maurice to turn. And this is Araujo. Takes the inside route. He's looking for options. Slides it off for Hoppy. Tried to get it back out wide, but stepping in to win it was Drought. Ortiz will keep possession for Barca. 1-1 in the 17th minute. Diaz for the Sounders in the 11th. Lacava responding for Barca 3 minutes later. Robles, he's unable to thread it through for Diaz.
Well read by Mondragon there. Just spotted that little cutback pass that he was trying to feed into the feet of Alec Diaz.
Maurice swings it to the far side. Araujo, a chance to get forward. Inside for Payne, back to Araujo. I love the way that the outside backs, they don't always have to attack right down the wing. Araujo coming inside to create that space on the outside. As is Ortiz here, gets the return ball from Lacava. Ortiz steps into one and drags his shot wide of the goal, but it was great movement forward from the outside back, Christian Ortiz.
Well, you were prescient, Mark. You called it just before it happened there. We saw it on the right side, but then the left back, Ortiz, it's really in vogue right now in world soccer, like you said. Not the overlap, but the underlap from fullbacks. You allow the winger to hug the touchline, cut into the open spaces in the middle of the pitch. And a lot of these fullbacks are two-footed, the ability to strike the ball, and that time Ortiz gets himself in a good area for a shot, just snatched at it and sent it wide. But you like to see that enterprising play from the fullback.
Lacava unable to keep it in. Thumbs up for the effort, though. Even from up here in our commentary position, we can hear the talking going on in the field. Really impressed with the communication of both of these teams.
Yeah, both coaching staffs getting involved, but also you hear the back lines of both teams really vocal, really important in terms of the organization.
Diaz. Robles overtakes. Lacava does well to get back.
Really good tracking back. We've seen him on the attacking end, but you like to see that from your wide players, chipping in on the defensive end as well.
This is Drought. In for Robles. Velvet touch to bring it down. And now Atencio will leave it off. Malone was in a little bit of trouble here. And he'll be whistled for the foul. And the card had to come out as well, didn't it?
It has to be a yellow card. Just dawdling on the ball a little bit there. And once he loses it, Malone reaches out, grabs the defender. Barcelona perhaps streaking down the other end, so you can't blame him. He's just looking for some options here.
It's a good job by Carter Payne to step in and win that ball. Phoenix, Arizona native would have been off to the races had he not been held back. Malone knew what he had to do. He also knew the punishment that he was going to face.
Yeah, he breaks up the counterattack there, but in the 20th minute, he'll have a long way to go on a yellow card now for the center back.
It's a strong sliding tackle from Maurice. Now he's looking to run. Hoppy was asking for it. Maurice sprays it to the far side. Molina is looking for options. Now he'll get it back to Araujo. Clipped into the channel, but Araujo was making the run out wide. And then Drought wanted options, didn't have it, so he just swept it out of bounds.
Yeah, you see him there barking out to his teammates, wanting some help. Seattle, you've seen they're dangerous going forward, but yeah, struggling to get some passes strung together here.
1-1 in the 21st minute between the Seattle Sounders and Barca Academy. Hoppy, still Hoppy. Payne, Hoppy's continued his run, and that's a tremendous challenge at the top of the box from Connor Drought. Neatly turned from Serrano. Out wide for Atencio. U17 U.S. International will lay it off for Drought. Hasn't been able to get forward the way he likes to in this game. Credit to Barca for pinning him back. Now he'll get it back for Bernie.
This is better from Seattle. They break the pressure from Barcelona. Right, a challenge in midfield, and then Atencio just calming things down. A tough pass to handle there as Montana was looking inside.
I have to come all the way up into the stands to get this ball. So it's cleared out, so it'll be a throw-in for Christian Ortiz out of Yuma, Arizona. And a foul throw gives the ball to the Seattle Sounders.
After all that, just going to commend his teammate for sprinting off the bench and up the steps. Get the ball back into play. Foul throw right in front of your own bench. That's not going to go over well with the coaching staff.
Inside looking for Ray Serrano. Serrano holding it in the corner. Poked off of his foot, will be a throw-in for the Sounders. Sounders, one of the youngest teams in the country, have 3 players playing up from the U15s. Molina leaves it off for the goal scorer, Lacava. Inside for Payne. Payne to the far side for Araujo. Is it a foot race with Drought? Araujo makes his way into the box. He's looking for a half yard of space, and coming over to help out was Malone. Great job by the center back to help out his outside back on that occasion.
Yeah, he's done well. He's getting yelled at from the bench to go and double team because Araujo had made that run forward, but somewhat isolated. Drought did a good job just delaying his ability to run into the area. And finally, yes, the center back comes over. It's a good double team. Sticks in a tackle as well, bounces out to the keeper. But how quick was that counter from Barcelona? Lacava finds a good pass inside, and then Payne with the wonderful diagonal over the top. And then, yeah, you see good covering work from the center back there, helping out his left back.
This is going to roll out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for the Sounders. In the playoffs so far, the Sounders have scored 4 goals, 6 goals, 5 goals, and then 3 goals in the quarterfinals. Have won so far, but so do Barca Academy in the 25th minute. Winner will face Atlanta United in 2 days' time in the U16-17 U.S. Soccer Development Academy Finals. Enrique Montana. Poked away by Pedro Mondragon.
Great tackle from Mondragon there.
And Montana, who just won it high up the pitch, making that run all the way back 40 yards to strip Lacava of the ball. It's this one inside for Diaz. Does well to bring it down. Serrano lets it run. Almost. Payne, nice little drop of the hips to create separation between him and Kingston. Inside for Hoppy. Tries to thread it through for Molina. Great intervention from Connor Drought.
Last ditch, wonderful sliding tackle. Like you said, looked like Barcelona was in behind Hoppy with some good hold-up play.
Mondragon will get it back to his keeper. Well, it's a chess match so far. Well, it's been an entertaining one to watch. Both teams on the board. Both teams moving the ball around well. Just trying to solve those back lines when they get up into the final third. So that's a gorgeous little flick from Lacava. And it's sprung Ortiz. Ortiz sauntering forward, top of the box, and it's poked away from Hoppy. Robles picks his head up, trying to find Diaz, headed away by Olmos. Only as far as Vargas. Has Diaz to his left, lost his footing.
Yeah, it looked like he was just waiting for the run of Vargas on his right, and as he went to play the pass, you're right, just tripped over his own foot. Unlucky for Seattle, because Vargas was charging forward into the space left open by Ortiz, who had bombed forward for Barcelona.
Fisher charged down by Bernie. And now both center backs have yellow cards for the Seattle Sounders.
That's an important note. Both center backs on a yellow. But you cannot give this guy space, Cameron Fisher. He'll just eat it up like he did there. The long strides, just galloping forward. And he's past Bernie there for sure. It's a wonderful little touch around the center back, inviting the challenge. He wears a sore one, but it's been all action so far, Cameron Fisher.
Second yellow card issued today by Nick Balser out of Michigan. Now free kick in a dangerous position for Barca Academy. Fisher and Maurice over the ball.
It's a tantalizing angle for a right-footed player, but perhaps a left-footed clipped cross into the area could cause some problems as well. Plenty of different options.
Is Fisher going for the near post, and a stunning save from Haraka to push it around.
It's a fantastic save. I'm not sure if that's curling in.
Yeah.
But he couldn't be sure. Full extension down to his right and a strong hand to push it aside.
First corner kick of the game for Barca Academy, and it's a dangerous one. Headed away by Malone. Arojo playing center field. And he'll come back for his keeper. This is Luke Pruder. Well, whether that's heading in or not, keeper has to get a touch and make absolutely sure.
It might have just been creeping inside that post. That really is a wonderful save from Haraka.
Mondragon. Good job by Enrique Montana to head that away from Jake Lacava. Love the way they find these outlet balls and then go again, Barca. This one cut off by Drought. Vargas. Poked away by Ortiz. Lacava. Ortiz. Fisher. Payne has a little bit of space to operate. Payne runs at the gap. Out wide for Molina. That's good defending by Drought.
Really been impressed with the two advanced central midfielders for Barcelona so far. That time we see Payne charging into the space. I don't think Fisher's put a foot wrong so far. Both these kids loving to eat up the ground, and they know they have Maris behind them to help shield that back four. It's been an efficient start to the game from the midfield triangle for Barcelona.
This is Fisher. Lacava has Ortiz in support, as well as Fisher, and he uses the latter. Chris Little and his staff trying to push these Seattle players to pressure a bit higher. For the moment, Barca has everybody in their half, but that one's won by Atencio. Good talk between Montana and Bernie there. And it's given space for Atencio in the midfield. Stepped in by Rojo. Molina barreling forward. Cut it back for Fisher. Fisher has time to pick out a shot. Lovely cutback. Plays it in. Good touch to bring it down by Molina. Leaves it off for Araujo, and Araujo concedes the foul. The Barca bench still applauding the effort even though the foul was conceded. And we're going to have the water break here in the 32nd minute. Well, that's been a good one so far, though.
It has been. Somewhat of two different styles have played out so far in this first half. Barcelona able to keep the ball, and again, they move forward with a nice attack here. I think Drought does well just to step in front in the end. But Barcelona, their ability to keep the ball and win it back quickly after they lose it as well, on full display. But Seattle's still so dangerous. You see their attacking players are full of ideas, full of inventiveness. And it seems like they do have players running at the Barcelona back line whenever they're able to break forward into the attacking half. So Barcelona with a lot of possession, but Seattle, you still see why they've scored so many goals this season.
It's one of those things where Barca, as you say, may have the ball for a long time, but Seattle can break at any moment, just as they showed on their goal in the 11th minute. Chris Little, speaking to his side, contains 6 U.S. Youth National Team players for the Seattle Sounders U16-17s.
It's a really bright crop of youngsters for the Sounders. You mentioned it as well, Mark, one of the younger teams in the competition this season, and for them to just roar their way through to this number 2 seed. It's a very talented bunch, getting some instructions here during this water break. I think these guys got the short straw today, Mark, getting the noon game here, or excuse me, the 2 o'clock game right in the middle of the sun.
And this is the second of 4 games today we'll have for you on USSoccerDA.com. Atlanta United beating the Montreal Impact with a 93rd minute penalty, 3-2. Seattle and Barca playing for the right to face them in the 16-17 finals. Then later tonight, we turn our attention to the 18-19s with Crew SC Academy taking on NYCFC, which should be a good one. Those 2 teams tied earlier in the season 1-1. And then after that, it's the LA Galaxy taking on the Vancouver Whitecaps. So 4 real quality games for you here on USSoccerDA.com.
Yeah, that first one was a doozy with the 93rd minute penalty winner. End-to-end stuff. This game starting off on the right foot as well. Both of these teams carving out chances in the early stages. Hopefully the older age group this evening puts in as good an effort.
Should be some really intriguing matchups. NYCFC have the U16-17 East Conference Player of the Year in Gio Reyna, who's played up with the 18-19s all season.
Of course, the son of former captain Claudio Reyna. What a bright future Gio Reyna has.
Spent preseason with the first team. Lacava. Who do you think maybe needed that water break a little bit more?
Well, Barcelona has had the ball, and you mentioned the Seattle coaching staff trying to urge their players out, pressing a little bit higher. They've been chasing a lot of the ball here in this first half. I think for them, just the ability to recharge, get some more instructions from their coach. They look dangerous when they have the ball, but I think they would prefer to keep it a little bit more because Barcelona is making them work here off the ball.
Good skill from Serrano. Robles, unable to get by Payne. Leaves it off for Vargas. And one back by Molina. Great job by Roberto Molina, who had the game-winning goal against Vancouver on match day 1. I know it's all the way back on match day 1, but if you don't win that first game, especially in group play where only the top team goes through, then you're in real trouble.
When
Every goal is so important when it's all on the line.
And you've seen throughout the history of group play in tournaments, that first game, if you get a win, you're so much more likely to progress. What a huge goal that was for this Barcelona team.
And one thing head coach Sean McCafferty said about his center back, Pedro Mondragon, is that he does a great job of taking space to break pressure, but I've also been impressed with his ability to know when to turn and play back to his keeper as well.
Yeah, he's been calm on the ball. We've seen him step forward into those spaces like you mentioned a few times as well. But you can tell that's the mantra for this Barcelona setup, is try and keep the ball, and they're not afraid to use their keeper.
Diaz, bit of heavy touch off that throw-in, so the ball will go back to Barca. It'll be their throw-in. 38th minute, Hoppy chested down, Atencio intercepts. Hoppy able to muscle him off the ball, and this is Fisher. Into the channel for Lacava, perfectly weighted, and Lacava runs onto it, but runs out of real estate on the near side.
We have to be better in the moment, son. Camera, well done.
You might have heard the admonishment from the coach there, Lacava. You've seen the quality that he possesses, just dribbling out of play there after a wonderful pass forward from Cameron Fisher.
Fisher. Forward for Diaz to chase.
And again, you're seeing how hard Barcelona is making Seattle work just to beat this press.
Well, they did well to press, and they win it back. Flicked on, and just not enough for it to reach Alec Diaz. He's already breached the back line once today, Diaz.
And that's where Seattle has looked most dangerous, hasn't it? When they won the ball high up the pitch. Those attacking players so quick in thought.
Space for Payne. Molina cutting inside. Trout gets a boot in. Is going to try and chase this down. It hits off the corner flag and bounces the wrong way from a Sounders perspective. It'll be the second corner kick of the game for Barca Academy.
I like the hustle there from Drought. I think from his angle, he must have seen it was heading towards the corner flag. You never know if it's going to bounce off and stay in play.
Six players in the box for Barca Academy. It's a good ball in. Atencio got his head on it, falls for Rajo. Didn't hit it the way he wanted. Only as far as Maurice. He'll have a go. And had Haraka interested, but he realized there was nothing to worry about in the end. Well, given the space, why not have a shot?
That's exactly right. Doesn't really catch it there, Rajo, but it's good control here. Just settles it for himself, puts it onto his favored left. Like you said, when you find yourself in that much space on the edge of the area, got to have the confidence to take the shot on.
Robles spins. Vargas is screaming for it. This time he gets it. Beautiful ball threaded through, just a bit too much on it to release Diaz, who thought that he was held.
That's what the coaching staff is arguing with the It's one of those in-between areas for a free kick, just a little too close to get it up and over the wall, so he's going for power there, Vargas. Trying to test the keeper. Just lifts up a little bit too much here. He's following through. Got those eyes up. I think he was hoping to see the back of the net bulge before he kicked it there.
43rd minute at the beautiful Swope Park Soccer Village. Training grounds for Sporting KC Academy and the Swope Park Rangers.
Don't pass on pressure, Cam.
Payne seizes the loose ball. Looking to run at the back line. This is Payne. Been impressed with Payne knowing his moments, when to take his space and when to lay it off.
He's been willing to charge forward, hasn't he? And here just fooling Drought, creating some space for his left-footed effort. Doesn't get enough behind it really to trouble the keeper, but you like to see that. We've seen those central midfielders. They really can chew up ground in the center of the park.
Atencio. That's a good overlap from Drought in his favorite position getting forward. Able to win it off of Araujo, and Araujo brings him down. It would be a free kick for the Rave Green in the 44th minute.
It's a good second effort, isn't it, from Connor Drought? Loses the ball, but scrambles back in, wins it back, and then able to draw this foul. And closing in on halftime here, the set piece. Another chance to bring the big center backs forward for Seattle.
Bernie and Malone at the top of the box. It's slid. It's left on. Robles couldn't keep his effort on frame. Lovely set piece, though, straight from the training ground, Carter.
That's exactly right. You took the words out of my mouth. I mean, they've carved out a wonderful opportunity here. I'm not sure the first guy even needed to run over this. He's obviously a decoy, but no one's on him. He leaves it for Robles. Wonderfully carved out. Had Barcelona completely fooled.
Inside for Fisher. This is Lacava. Mondragon, 3 minutes of stoppage time.
The referee has added a minimum of 3 minutes of stoppage time to the first half.
One more. Christian. Good. Now you get 2v1, Christian. Drive, son. Drive.
Ortiz takes the space. Still Ortiz. Lovely reverse pass for Lacava. Lacava to the byline, pulls it across. All it needed was a touch at the back stick. Molina looking, finding Payne. Payne will spin back with it for Araujo. Mondragon. Once again, the entire Barca outfield in Seattle's half. Is that one headed away from Fisher. Atencio slices it clear. Just over a minute gone in the minimum 3 of stoppage time. So Ortiz gets it inside for Lacava. Into the channel for Fisher. He's able to spin. This is Fisher. Wins the 3rd corner kick of the game for Barca Academy.
It's been good attacking play the last minute for Barcelona. Getting some good overloads here on this left-hand side. And what a clever turn that was from Fisher. Just create some space for himself inside the area. Good closing down from Seattle, though, to just usher it out for a corner kick.
Fisher's corner. Might be something on at the back post. Just unable to time the jump and get the header down. There's another warning shot fired from Barca.
Standing up for that man, the big man, Hoppy on the back post. He was asking for a corner kick as both players jumped up to contest that one. It's a decent delivery from Fisher after he had won the corner.
Be sensible. Good decisions. Second ball, Cam, yeah? Go on, drive forward, son. Can we get something?
One by Lacava. Molina screaming for it on the far side. Payne helps it onto him. This is Molina. Charged down by Malone. Good job to read that bounce and not let it go out for a corner kick.
Recover, Enzo! Great step, son.
Arojo steps in. Fisher keeps it for Barca.
Get secure it, Enzo! Flacco inside. Have to recover, Julian. It's the last minute, we have to recover.
Good win on the far side. Roberto Molina. That will be the last action of the first half. Very entertaining affair here. 1-1 as we head into the break. What do you make of it all so far, Carter Augustine?
It's been pretty even so far in this first half, hasn't it? Barcelona with a lot of the ball. Seattle looking dangerous, especially when they can win the ball high up the pitch. We've seen them side through Barcelona for a quick counter-attacking goal as well. I think this one's still very much up for grabs. Both of these teams showing that they have what it takes here. It's been a really wonderful first half and tough to separate the two at the halftime break.
45 minutes down, 45 minutes to go. The winner will move on to play Atlanta United in the final at the break. It's Seattle Sounders 1, Barca Academy 1. We'll be back with you for the second half here on USSoccerDA.com. Taking a look at the first half highlights, and it was all Seattle Sounders early on, and they would get the breakthrough in the 11th minute, Carter.
Yeah, look at the lovely timing of that pass, and then just a cool finish as well from Diaz in the end, just prodding it past the goalkeeper. That's just a perfectly weighted and timed pass that really creates this goal for Seattle, and they were off and running.
That was a great ball through from Robles, and as you said, a confident finish from Diaz. But then Barca started to take over, and especially this man, Fisher.
He's been everywhere. He's been everywhere in this first half, just shifting it past the defender in midfield. And look at this finish from Lacava.
I think Haraka was expecting the cross. Lacava beat him at his near post. Really smart thinking from Lacava. You could see what it meant there. And then after that, both teams had their opportunities. This one a great save from Haraka. Was it going in? Maybe, maybe not. Haraka had to make absolutely sure.
Yeah, we'll never find out because he wouldn't let us. Haraka sprawling to his right.
And then at the other end, a set piece of their own. And as you said, straight from the training ground, but just unable to get the shot on target from Robles. The man who created the first goal, unable to get Seattle's second for his own. And it's 1-1 as we hit to the final 45 minutes. Barca are out there just waiting for Seattle.
Still up for grabs this semifinal. Chance to move on to the final on Tuesday, and couldn't split these teams in the first half. Both of them creating numerous opportunities. We'll see what this second half has in store for us, and we talked about it in the first game. It started to open up because it is a hot day out here, hot and humid.
Temperature hovering right around 90 degrees. And all these coaches will tell you there's no excuse. Everybody has to deal with the same conditions. All have to find a way to play through it, especially if you want to be a pro. These teams have done a good job of that so far. "45 more minutes between these teams, and if still not separated after 90 minutes, we will have extra time."
These are young, athletic kids too. They're not like you and me, Mark. They can run all day. I'm excited to see this second half. Barcelona dominating possession in that first half. But Seattle limiting the chances, especially in that final 10 or 15 minutes.
Vargas stepped in on Araujo. Payne was there to help clean up. Peter Kingston. Nice little ball clipped into the feet of Atencio. Over to the far side, looking for the run of Serrano. Serrano unable to keep it in. Another player voted to the West Conference Best 11. Ray Serrano. Ray Lopez Serrano, to give his full name.
I know he's one that the Seattle organization is really excited about, Ray Serrano. Quick, tricky winger. He's had a wonderful year.
One of 4 players on this U16-17 roster who's already featured for S2 in the USL. 2 games played at that level for Serrano. Robles. It's a fun battle to watch between him and Araujo. Kingston able to win it back. This is Serrano. Drought. Look at that for a piece of distribution from Kingston. And now it's Montana trying to chisel his way down the far flank.
It's really well done from Kingston. He got a shout there from Montana and almost blindly just splays it out to the right-hand side. Positive start here from Seattle in the opening 2 minutes.
And here's where Montana wins the free kick, which Kingston's coming over to take. He was bought down by Ortiz.
Yeah, kind of a lazy one there from Ortiz, wasn't it? They had him trapped in a corner.
This one played in a bit low. The keeper's beaten to it. The officials called a free kick for a handball. Good job to get across the face of the keeper, though.
Perhaps they're saying the goalie has hands on. I'm not sure. I think Diaz is there first. You mentioned it. He's just running across the keeper. It took a little weird hop there. Checked up just as Pruder was trying to come and gather, and Diaz was alert to it.
Atencio wanted to push in the back. He's not going to get it, but he will get the ball back for Seattle. Diaz gets it out wide, just over the head of Montana, off the hop. It was really fun to watch. Seattle able to solve the riddle of breaking through that pressure on the far side of Barca.
Yeah, Barcelona made them work so hard. Barca did in that first half to break the pressure, but Seattle right now in the second half, they're starting to string some passes together and get through the Barca press.
It's one to the far side for Rojo to chase. He'll get there before Drought. Has two players to find. Rojo barrels his way into the box, and it's cleared away by Bernie. Rojo's on it again. Payne gets in the cross. A good job to come out and take by Haraka. Intercepted by Maurice. Looking for the run of Rojo. Heads it back across. And the shot charged down by Bernie. Good touch from Enzo Maurice to keep it for Barca Academy. And he'll win the throw-in.
He's just done well in the past 30 seconds or so. Maurice stepped in and broken up a couple of Seattle counterattack opportunities. Just helping to shield that back line as Seattle's trying to break forward.
Vargas. Fisher seizes on the loose ball. Barca will hit the reset button in the 51st minute as they look to build out of the back through their keeper, Pruder. Atencio steps in. Forward for Rojo. Lovely little touch inside for Payne. Fisher tried to let it run, and stepping in was Montana. Threaded through for Diaz. Diaz helped it back onto Robles, but it's poked away from him, and Fisher comes back to atone for his error.
Yeah, you got to be careful when you don't get a touch on the ball. Tried to let it through. And really, that's when Seattle has been at their best, winning it in those type of areas.
Nice little layoff for Atencio. He has a rip. Tremendous save from Pruder. He's not going to get to the rebound. It's played back, and it's cut out. They're going to want to pass back, and the referee says play on.
Seattle certainly angry about this one. What a rip here from Atencio. Clever here with the back heel. Opens up space for him to get a nice shot off as well. It's a big rebound spilled.
Great job by Mondragon to come in and clean up as well, though.
I think the referee's spot on. That's his first touch. Just trying to control it.
It's another look at that shot again. Did so well to make that first save. Pruder didn't get to it in time, but there to mop up for him was Mondragon. And now it's Lacava at the other end. This is Jake Lacava looking for space. Finds Payne. Payne has a go. Not the baddest, worst of ideas.
Just hopped up on him, his first touch, I think, Carter Payne. And then took him a little bit wide of goal. Made it tough for him to swivel his hips and get it back on frame.
One by Fisher. Headed the other way by Malone for Drought. Over the top looking for the run of Vargas. Atencio has space to work. Serrano's making a run. Almost sliding it through was Atencio, but wise to it was the defense. 53rd minute now, Barca coming forward. Lacava has the ball swept off his foot by Kingston. It will be another throw-in for Barca Academy.
This one's starting to open up a little more end-to-end than we saw the first half, isn't it?
Much more. Both teams really looking to run at the other defense.
I can't imagine this one's going to end 1-1, just the way these two teams have started in this second half.
Good reading of the game from Malone there. This is Arrojo. Inside for Hoppy. 26 goals on the season for Hoppy. Payne. Molina just out of the reach of Fisher, but that was the right idea. And now space for Ortiz to bring it forward.
Spot on, Mark. That's the right idea there. Fisher just drifting forward into a dangerous area. The pass just inches past his outstretched boot.
This is a mazy dribble. The ball comes back for Payne. Hoppy has popped up on this near side. Hoppy looking to play it across. It's a good ball for Lacava at the back post. He's being watched by Montana. Montana forces him to circle back with it. Forward for Diaz to chase. Diaz able to get there. Getting back is Mondragon to make the challenge. Great job by Mondragon to get back and help out Jose Olmos.
How quick was Alec Diaz off his mark there, and he's angry with himself. It would have been such a tough one-man breakaway, but he just about got to it, cut it back onto his left, and like you said, Mondragon coming over with an important tackle away to help out his teammate. It's really just an impressive first 3 steps from Alec Diaz, the pace he has up top for Seattle.
He's already gotten away once today, Diaz. That was in the 11th minute. Is Drought being told to come back and take this throw in at the spot where the ball went out by assistant referee Melissa Gonzalez out of Cal South. Diaz. Serrano turns Ortiz inside out, and coming over to help was Olmos.
Boy, what a chance for Seattle there. And it all starts from that man Vargas again. You said it in the first half. Sometimes he just spots passes that no one else on the field could see. He gets it into Diaz there. And you thought when Serrano got his man turned around, twisting and turning, he challenged the goal.
Vargas unable to bulldoze his way through Olmos. Fisher turning. This is Lacava. Payne running at the gap. Leaves it off for Hoppy. Unable to slide by Drought. He's been tenacious in his defending all game, Connor Drought. Drought being instructed to get out wide. Gets there in time, and a lovely move to get around Molina and win the free kick. And we're about to have a double substitution for the Seattle Sounders, as Diaz is going to come off to be replaced by Alfonso Ocampo Chavez. So Diaz departing, but not before scoring his 25th goal of the season. And on comes Alfonso Ocampo Chavez, U17 Youth National Team player. Also coming in is Aziriel Gonzalez, another U.S. Youth National Team regular, who's signed to S2, where he's played 5 games this season. Aziriel Gonzalez spent the group stage of the playoffs with the 18-19s for the Seattle Sounders. Talk about depth.
What a wonderful option to bring off the bench. Gonzalez sliding into that right wing position. I'm curious to see how Ocampo Chavez does. Alec Diaz has been so good and a threat up top.
There's Azir Gonzalez getting in to Ocampo Chavez. Ocampo Chavez had 4 goals in the final group game against Pariadores.
He's done well immediately coming into the game and winning his side of corner here. Willing runner there on that particular instance. Out to the right inside channel and does well to hold up as well.
It's a good ball. And Malone flies in and puts Seattle Sounders in front. That's why center backs get forward on set pieces.
What a leap. What a header. He's up above everyone in the area here. The big center half. We saw him in the first half do the exact same thing, get across his marker and rise above. That one went into the goalie's mitts. This one, there's no goalie in the world stopping that, to the far post. It's a wonderful delivery as well. But look at this leap. Rises well above everyone in a perfectly placed header. Just a fantastic goal from Blake Malone.
Just the second goal of the season for the man who already has 3 games started for S2. Another selection to the West Conference's best 11. And he's come good here on both the defensive and offensive ends in this first hour of this match for the Seattle Sounders.
He wins a defensive header as well. You can tell he's just so strong in the air.
And it was the 2 substitutes who combined to force that corner kick.
That's right. Some protests from the Barcelona bench. They thought it was a goal kick. And in the end, it does wind up being costly. But those substitutes come immediately into the game, have an impact.
Vargas wins the free kick. Well, how will Barca respond in these final 30 minutes?
Surprised that's not a yellow card there as well. Almost coming over and preventing that counterattack, just grabbing the defender. We've seen that given in the first half to a Seattle defender, but Seattle started this second half really brightly.
Oh, look how perfectly positioned Pruder was. He was there before the free kick was even taken. That's where you can tell they've been studying game film.
That was good positioning there from Pruder. Cross over hit. Easy take for the goalkeeper.
We take a look at those substitutions, and it's no wonder Chris Little is the West Conference Coach of the Year. And here they are on the offensive end once again. This is Ocampo Chavez. Payne was able to get it away from him. Ocampo Chavez barges into the back of Fisher.
Well, we saw how crucial substitutions can be in the first game with both teams getting crucial contributions. And here it is again rearing its head in the second game.
Rojo being urged to take the space from the Barca bench. Slots it in for Payne. Rolled out wide for Molina. He's committed to UC Irvine, Molina. Here's Molina again. Lovely 1-2 touch play from him.
Wonderful program at UC Irvine. Brad Evans, I believe. UC Irvine alum.
This one will come back for almost. Another player's been called to a US U18 camp. Organizes the game so well, almost. Lacava turns. Still Lacava. Is wrestled away by who else? Connor Drought.
Just trying to create some space for a shot, but it's good defending. They're tracking the run of Lacava across.
63rd minute. Sounders have their noses in front, courtesy of a 59th minute header from Blake Malone off a corner kick. Vargas picks his head up. It slides it inside. This is Ocampo Chavez. Gets around Mondragon. Ocampo Chavez. Bruder standing tall in the Barca goal.
He's been so bright since coming on, Ocampo Chavez, and what a pass again from Vargas. Looked like he was going to cut it inside, but was just waiting for the run of Chavez. You see it there. Look at the strength here as well, just to get around the defender. Does everything right, and then at the end hits it right into the goalkeeper. But he's been a spark off the bench here in the second half for the Sounders.
Fisher gets it to the far side for Ortiz. Well, both of these teams were at the Boys U.S. Soccer Development Academy banquet last night at the new National Development Center. It's an absolutely gorgeous facility. What can you tell us about it, Carter?
Well, yeah, it is state of the art. It's been really wonderful to have it here in Kansas City. We're definitely blessed to have it here. I'm there just about every day for Sporting Kansas City training, and I think U.S. Soccer's mad at the amount of coffee I've stolen from them over the past couple of months. But the facilities are just fantastic. They have coaching classes in there just about every week, it seems, as well as youth programs could come in there and train.
Rojo, well, now I know why you're here. You're working off your debt.
That's exactly right, my coffee debt. Gonna need 4 tournaments, I think.
When you talk about those classes, this is going to be the main hub where coaches can come and get their U.S. Soccer licenses and diplomas. As we're going to have another change for the Seattle Sounders. And it's Robles who's set to check out, and he'll be replaced by Daniel Leva, who's been a sub now in all 5 playoff games. He's up from the U15s as a U16 Youth International.
It's a big call for him to come in here in the center of the pitch. 66th minute. Barcelona has shown those center midfield players of really powerful runners. We'll see if the youngster can get adjusted to the game as he comes in.
And Robles is off, but remember, it was his pass in the 11th minute which opened up the space for Diaz to slot home the game's opening goal. So Robles leaves, but not without leaving his mark on this match.
He's been all over the pitch. Run himself into the ground. And just back to the National Training Center, like you said, coaches come in. It's also a hub for referee training now as well. This really is a wonderful facility here in Kansas City.
This is going to be a corner kick for Barca. Can they give Seattle a taste of their own medicine? Barca preparing substitutions, but I believe they're going to wait for this corner to be taken. They play it short. Pinged in and cleared away at the front post. Sent back in by Ortiz, a bit too deep. And Haraka will let it run all the way out for a goal kick. And now here comes that change for Barca. So it's going to be Caden Clark. Another player's up from the U15s and has attended U16 Youth National Team camps, Clark. And he's going to come in for Roberto Molina.
I'd like to hear that from Molina going to the bench, giving Caden Clark a word of encouragement. It's a tough game, I think, for Molina. Tough for him to really get as involved as Lacava, Payne, and Fisher. So now a chance for the youngster Clark to come in. And they're chasing the goal as well, Barca.
Clark in his 3rd game with the 16-17s after 24 games and 6 goals at the U15 level.
Looks like he's slotting into the midfield position where Carter Payne had occupied, and they're pushing Payne out to the right-hand side. Interested to see how he fits out there. He's certainly run past players in midfield, so we'll see him get isolated in some 1v1 situations now on the wing.
Slid inside for Vargas. Scooped over the top, looking for the run of Ocampo Chavez. Vargas wins it back and gets it out wide for Gonzalez. This is Aziriel Gonzalez. Wants the free kick, isn't going to get it.
Yeah, that's just strong defending. Read him the entire way.
Turn from Fisher. This is Clark's first involvement. Payne. Clark continues his run, getting there in front of him, or the Seattle Sounders. We talk about the offensive prowess of the Seattle Sounders side. We talk about their creativity going forward. And we'll talk about it later, as this is Ocampo Chavez making his way into the box. Ocampo Chavez to the end line. Cuts back. He's waiting for runners. The delayed run from Leyva. Pruder gets down.
You can't say enough about this kid up top, Ocampo Chavez. What an opportunity he's carved out there for his teammate, running to the byline, and it looked like he was going to cross. Puts on the brakes, and then he's alone in the area and has the coolness to pick out such a wonderful pass.
Now it's Gonzalez. Plays the reverse ball back out, and that's well defended. And it'll be a free kick as well for a hold on the far side. Here's a look at that opportunity.
Yeah, the earlier chance here. Look at this. Scoop! Puts on the brakes. Fantastic. And then this pass is wonderful. All the time in the world in the box there for Leyva to run onto it. Oh, this is great camera work, too. You see exactly what Ocampo Chavez is seeing. Golden opportunity to go 2 goals ahead there for Seattle.
I was getting back to what I was going to say is they wouldn't be able to do any of that if it weren't for the work of the 2 holding midfielders in Kingston and Atencio.
Yeah, and you brought that up because it looked like the newcomer, Clark, was going to run in behind, but it was the tracking run of Kingston, who's been on the pitch for all of 70 minutes. He's able to keep up with the fresh legs. And as a result, they're sprinting away the other end, Seattle, for that chance that we just saw moments ago.
This is Carter Payne, 71st minute. And because their goalkeeper Pruder has made some very important saves, this one's still very much in the balance. And there's Kingston getting back once again. The other thing I noticed about him right after he made that last tackle was he kept turning his head left and right. Love how his head is always on a swivel, making sure he knows where everybody is at every moment as Araujo plays it in.
Yeah, you got to check your shoulder, especially as a holding midfielder.
Clark bulldozes his way through. It falls for Fisher. Fisher looking to set himself up, and the deflection took the sting out of the shot off of Bernie, but it will be a corner kick for Barca. 5th of the game for Barca Academy, their 2nd of this half.
Well, if it falls to anyone on the edge of the area, I think Barca's happy it fell to this man, Fisher. Just a loose ball here, and immediately he's looking to shoot, shifting it over to that left foot.
72nd minute. That's a good ball in. And Malone heads it away, only as far as Araujo. Clips it toward the back post. Drought wins the first header. And now is it a battle with Fisher for the second ball. What a turn from Fisher. And he wins the free kick.
How clever was that?
You can see why he's rated so highly.
He's lost a defender. Connor Drought there with the wonderful foot skill. Looked like he was backed into a corner, but he's won a nice set piece here.
Chris Little looking on as his team defend this set piece the 72nd minute. We'll have to play it just like the corner they played it a few seconds ago.
Get these extra 8 yards or so inward. Really helps in terms of the delivery.
It is a good delivery, and it's Malone again. This is Maurice. Teases it back into the mix, headed away. Maurice steps in front of Atencio, but used his hand.
Yeah, unlucky. He was the one that was on his toes, saw the danger, and stepped in front of Atencio with the ball bouncing up onto his hand. But you said it. Who else is going to be clearing those headers other than that man right there? He's got the game winner as it stands on the offensive end, and he's winning just about every set piece header in his own area as well.
Mercer Island native sends it forward. Header right into the path of Gonzalez, looking to hit it first time. Just unable to get a dip when he wanted to, but it was still good technique from Aziriel Gonzalez.
It was a really inviting ball to shoot, wasn't it? Just headed up into the air. He can run onto it on the bounce.
Payne trying to take on Malone. Flying in his Hoppy. Hoppy to the back post, and getting there first is Bernie, and he'll sweep it clear.
Well, Hoppy putting on the wheels there. Hadn't seen that really from him, but speeding ahead of his own teammate to get on the end of that one. Excellent work here. Afterburners from 49.
Picks his head up, but it was an important interception from Bernie. Otherwise, it would have been a tap-in. Good ball in. Haraka elects to punch. Mariz. Arojo. Flights it into the danger area. It was a good idea from Lacava trying to put it back across. Just couldn't angle his head the proper direction. And it will be a goal kick for the Seattle Sounders. 75th minute. Seattle have the advantage. Playing for the right to face Atlanta United in Tuesday's U16-17 Boys U.S. Soccer Development Academy Final.
Time running out for Barca. That was a tough header for Lacava to try and put back into the mixer, running away from the ball, trying to head it back from whence it came.
Over the top for Ocampo Chavez to chase. He goes down, and the referee says play on. Ocampo Chavez still down. They'll look to work it out of the back. So Ocampo Chavez is up. So close to stealing in between the center backs. But it's won back by Leva. Gonzalez. Perfectly flighted ball for Vargas. It's Vargas. It's 3. Sixth goal of these playoffs from Marlon Vargas, but how about that ball from Aziriel Gonzalez?
That's a wonderful ball over the top. You'd have to say if any player deserved a goal here for their efforts for Seattle, it's that man Vargas. He might have gotten hurt here, or cramped perhaps, in the celebrations because he peeled away after smashing it past the keeper. Look at that ball. You said it. Wonderfully weighted. His first touch takes him inside the defender, which means Olnos can't come over and make a challenge here. That first touch is so wonderful. Basically eliminates the defender from the situation. And then just waits for the keeper to make his move and smashes it home. 2-goal advantage now for Seattle, and that man has been brilliant all afternoon.
Vargas being stretched out. I think it's just a cramp. As we're at the water break. And one thing I noticed there, Carter, is as he took that touch inside, he looked up and saw Pruder leaning toward the back post, and so he smashed his shot into the near. Great awareness from Marlon Vargas.
Yeah, it really was just, he knew he had some time because of how good that first touch was. And you're right, he got his eyes up, waited for the keeper to shift his weight, and smashed it behind him.
136 goals now in almost 38 full games for the Seattle Sounders.
Just a wonderful delivery on that pass with the backspin. And you talk about it. He's got him on the near post because the keeper just shifting his weight over to his left. Took his time. Did Vargas. You see what it means as well. A 2-goal cushion now as they look to book their spot in the finals.
We talked about the need to high press this Barca team as well as they look to build out of the back, and that goal, just like the other ones, came off a ball won in the midfield.
They've done so well with that, Seattle. That's where they've been most dangerous, is winning the ball high up the pitch. Because they have players like Gonzalez, like Vargas, so quick of thought, so inventive as well. And immediately, from winning the ball, they're streaming forward into the attack.
And after this water break, we're going to have another Barca sub. It's going to be Henry Tapper coming in for Jose Olmos. Tapper out of Minnetonka, Minnesota, making his 33rd appearance of the season.
He'll have his hands full. Tapper. Ocampo Chavez has come in and been really lively up top. And he's been flanked by Vargas and now Gonzalez late on in the second half. And it's been tough for the Barcelona defenders to handle that trio.
And here comes Tapper. I asked Chris Little last night at the banquet and said, you know, what did you learn about your side over the playoffs? He said the depth in the squad over the playoffs. He's really delighted with everyone. He can bring in anyone off the bench, anyone in this 18, and the level is not going to drop. He said, you know, I've had some really tough decisions now that I have to make for my starting 11, but the old cliche goes, that's the one headache every coach wants to have.
Yeah, you'd rather have those tough decisions, right? And silly me, I was questioning when Alec Diaz went off the pitch. It looked so bright in certain areas. He already had a goal to his name. But he's been spot on. Ocampo Chavez and Gonzalez have come in, and as you said, the level hasn't dropped one bit. They've been fantastic since coming on as second half subs.
This is Araujo. Skips by the challenge of the goal scorer, Vargas. Payne. Inside for Hoppy. Hoppy has a step on Drought. This is Hoppy. Goes down under the challenge. What's the referee going to do here? He's going to give a goal kick.
Boy, that's a big call.
Oh, that would have changed the complexion of these final 10 minutes.
It certainly would have. Perhaps it's just the ball running out of play here, because I do think the goalkeeper gets him. He's left his leg a little bit hoppy.
Yeah, my one thought is that he wasn't going to get to that next ball, whether he was touched or not, right here.
Yep, it's drifting out of play there. But still, he's left his leg in, goalkeeper in late. Perhaps a bit lucky that the referee didn't point at the spot there.
Hoppy on 2 occasions now has shown his ability to get in behind, as has this man, Aziriel Gonzalez. Gonzalez bowled into the back by Henry Tapper.
Did well just to cut across Tapper there, and Tapper tracking back. Couldn't stop his momentum, crashing into the back of Gonzalez. You wonder there, Hoppy, the number 9 for this Barca team, in the box. Plenty of time there to get a shot away. He tried to round the goalkeeper.
This is Kingston's free kick. Looped into the box, diving header right into the breadbasket of Pruder. Good effort, though, from Aziriel Gonzalez.
That was a good effort. A diving header right on the spot. It was a cheeky little delivery as well, clipped in behind the defense, and got some power behind that header from a really tough angle.
Well stepped in on the far side. Can Barca grab a goal and make this a nervy finale? Atlanta United watching with interest. So take a look. A flying header.
It's a wonderful effort.
Space is opened up for Lacava. Lacava, top of the box, and Kingston is there. Gonzalez nips in to take it away. Vargas. Leva. Back to Gonzalez. Inside for Vargas. Over to Ocampo Chavez. Pushed onto the crossbar by Pruder. That was beautifully done.
That was beautiful soccer from Seattle Sounders. Leva stepping in front of a player in midfield, and then intricate passing moves opening it up for Ocampo Chavez. It's a wonderful save at the end of the move, but that's the best move of the game.
It's a strong challenge at the top of the box. This is Maurice once again. Drilled into the feet of Payne. Payne gets on his bike, but he can't get it by Drought. Still going Payne. It's a good move from Payne, and it's a great save from Haraka. Well, if Haraka was upset with himself for being beaten at his near post in the 14th minute, he's more than well made up for it with the saves afterwards.
That's a fantastic diving save here. And credit to Payne, too. Looked like the chance had gone, but quick feet here to zip around a couple defenders, stay with it, and that's a great effort. A sprawling save keeps this at 3-1.
7th corner kick of the game for Barca. It's a deep one, and flying in to head it away.
Who else?
Malone.
Who else, Mark? He's been everywhere inside his own area.
Another look at that shot. It's tremendous technique to get that onto his left foot. And that looked destined for the goal, but Haraka has been excellent this afternoon. Maurice flying in to make the block was Vargas. The break could be on here if Seattle want to hurry. Ocampo Chavez, Vargas trying to stay on side, stepping in as Orojo. And played too far forward. I've really liked watching Carter Payne play today.
He's been everywhere. He started in the middle of the pitch. Now he's impacting the game on the wing. Time running out for him in this Barca team. And we just saw there, as they push numbers forward, that leaves the counterattack for a really potent Seattle Sounders attack.
This one's going to come all the way through for Ortiz. Hoppy. Did it take a touch on the way through? No, it didn't.
Thought it might have. Just off Connor Drought there. Nothing doing in the end.
Haraka has made 2 sensational saves. So we're going to have another double change for Chris Little's side. Oh, both 44s have been sensational today. And it's Peter Kingston who's going to leave us. And also coming off is Vargas, who I think is still feeling the effects of the cramp after scoring that goal. Another player who you can't say enough good things about, though.
No, job well done. If I had to pick a man of the match, I think it might just be him. Vargas, fantastic throughout this game.
So Soto Kitahara will come on, as does Bryson Hankins. Kitahara, a U16 youth U.S. national team player. Bryson Hankins in his first year with the Seattle Sounders. Gonzalez wants to run again. Slips it inside for Leyva. Out wide for Ocampo Chavez. Oh, it's a great run and finish to match. That surely is the knockout blow, and the Sounders are on their way to the final to face off against Atlanta United. And he deserves a goal for his efforts since coming off the bench. Alfonso Ocampo Chavez.
He really does, and what a wonderful run to watch. Just cutting across, drifting across from right to left. He's been an absolute handful since he's come in the game. He's put in 90 minutes of work and just about 30 minutes of actual play. This man, look at this, sizing up the defenders, rides that challenge, calmly slots it past the keeper here. He's been absolutely fantastic, and he gets a goal for his efforts.
It's the subs who are affecting the game. Leyva left it off for Ocampo Chavez. They're running into the finals, the Seattle Sounders.
And I think it's deserved, Mark. They've come out here in the second half and really have been on the front foot.
I think they've also done a tremendous job today. Get back to that in a second. They're flying forward again. Hankins weaves his way through. Leaves it off for Leva. Had the assist on the last goal. Gonzalez pokes it across. Headed away. Drout's still full of running. He has to recover here. And he gets some help from Soto Kirihara.
Leaving that 4-1 up, Seattle Sounders still just seems to be ingrained in this group of players. Attack after attack, just go to goal.
Well, what I was going to say before they went on another attack, as you said, is that they've really done a great job of cutting off the lines of distribution, not only to Hoppy as the number 9, the target player, but also to Fisher in the midfield, because Fisher was on the ball much more in the first half and was really dictating the tempo of this game. Hasn't really been able to do that so much so here in the second half.
100%. We haven't seen him very much in the second half after, like you said, he was dictating the game in midfield in the first. And likewise, we haven't seen a whole lot from Jake Lacava. It's just been much better from Seattle here in the second half. They've been very, very good.
Credit that to the adjustments made at halftime by Chris Little and his Seattle Sounders side, as we're into the final minute of the 90. Well, it's going to be a juicy final, isn't it? Atlanta United versus the Seattle Sounders.
Expect some goals in that one, Mark.
Take nothing away, though, from this Barca Academy side. In the semifinals, in their first year in existence, moved the ball around beautifully in this game.
It's been a really great run here to the semifinal. Like you said, the only real rock for the Seattle Sounders.
Tough challenge by Maurice and a yellow card for the Alta Loma native.
Gonzalez, so tricky coming in off the bench. Just a quick little shift to the feet here. Earn a yellow card against Barca. He's played his part as well, Gonzalez. It's what you want from a substitute, to come in and impact the game positively, and he certainly has done that.
There's another look. There's that sleight of foot. Into the corner for Gonzalez. And that's where he'll take it and look to reside. He'll win the corner.
Just let those seconds tick down. Here's where, if you're a Seattle player, you want to make sure you stay on the pitch with the final coming up on Tuesday. Don't want any type of rash challenge to rule yourself out in that game. Be smart here. You have a 4-1 lead. See this one out.
Well, that's exactly what they're doing. Great reverse ball to get it out of traffic. Won by Connor Drout. Leva. He tried to clip it to the far side. And here's Drout again going down. It's Caden Clark, the guilty party this time around.
How many of these loose balls has he been the first one to, Connor Drout?
He just never stops running. These teams met on the first day of the season all the way back on September 2nd of 2017. It was a 5-4 win for the Seattle Sounders then. It's been another great battle here today. But Seattle, who looks like they're going to come out on top once again. Now, are we going to see a shot directly on goal? It's Gonzalez. Ruder wants to take this goal kick quickly. Final minute, 15 seconds. Over the top for Lacava to chase. Tracks it down and squares up to Montana. Good skill from Lacava, but Montana able to slide it away. Well, they've used that long ball to the forward line to break the lines today, the Sounders. And they're doing it again here. Ocampo Chavez. Still Ocampo Chavez. And he'll take it to the corner. And now they're going to pull it back for the free kick.
He's just been great. I don't want to be too effusive and talk too much, but it's hard not to. Again, he pops up in an area that's easy to find him, an out ball, out wide, and then just a quick tip of the shoulder, and he's past his defender. Tried to ride the challenge as long as he could, but just tugging back on his shirt, it's the only way you can look to stop him at the moment.
Only one person to find around the box for the Seattle Sounders. Which lets you know they're going to just take this ball into the corner again. Tapper commits the foul. And that will do it. The Seattle Sounders are into the finals, where they will face Atlanta United as they defeat Barca Academy 4-1. Final thoughts, Carter Augustine.
Well, it was deadlocked at the break, and I think Seattle Sounders deservedly come through because of their second half performance. They had some troubles in the first half stringing passes together. They didn't in the second. Winning the ball high up the pitch, and you see the attacking quality that this team possesses. So ruthless in and around the area. And again, they get 4 goals here this afternoon. Just a wonderful attacking display, and rightfully Seattle moves on to the final.
I love the sportsmanship between these two teams. Take nothing away from this Barca Academy. They were brilliant all season, and they did a tremendous job here today. Had the Seattle Sounders on the rope, but in the end, their offensive prowess just too much. So the U16-17 Boys U.S. Soccer Development Academy final is set. It'll be Atlanta United and the Seattle Sounders. For now, I'm Mark Serber for Carter Augustine. Reminder to stay with us as we will have post-game reaction from the field, but we're going to say goodbye from the booth where it finishes Seattle Sounders 4, Barca Academy 1.
We're here with Blake Malone after a 4-1 Seattle Sounders victory. Blake, what's it mean to, as a defender, to score the winning goal here?
Hey, I'm just glad our team went out and got the job done. We all worked really hard, and we came to life in that second half, and I'm just glad we came together as a team and got it done. It's a great win.
You guys have scored every game this season. How is your attacking? How do you keep that pace up with your attacking force?
Our attacking forward they work very hard, and as a team we like to press, and they're just great. They're great players. They're amazing people, and we just love what they do, and they do it every game. So we're thankful for them.
Long season, long hot day here. You guys are 1 game away from a championship. What do you think?
I'm thinking ice baths.
Yeah.
And a little bit of time to ourselves, settle down, and celebrate the win.
What would it mean to finish the season with a championship for the Sounders, for your club, for your team?
It means everything. We've been working very hard since the beginning of the season, and to come together as a club and do something great like that it'd be unbelievable. It'd be awesome.
Thank you. Congrats.
Thank you.